How does Apple keep doing this? Okay, the AirPods Pro 3 have been around for about 6 months now. They've been my main earbuds for that period because I'm an Apple user and it just makes sense. To be honest, if you want the TLDR of this 6 month later review, it is if you're an Apple person and you're thinking about getting the AirPods Pro 3 or the AirPods Pro 2 to be fair, or the AirPods 4, just buy them. However, there's more to this story, isn't there? We don't talk enough about what the AirPods Pro are, and there's one slight problem I've had with mine, which I'll get to. But it's such a tiny thing, and it kind of illustrates just how good these are. More importantly, what's next? Where does Apple go from the best ANC earbuds on the market? We have a little bit of an insight into what that might be, which I'll get onto in a moment. Let's give you my 6 month later thoughts, that's hard to say, on the AirPods Pro 3. I lose things all the time. For instance, I'm always searching for my keys in the studio when I need to leave, even though they're normally they're always where I left them before. It's really annoying. So I've been using the UGreen FineTrack Mini 2 to sort that out once and for all. It's a compact tracker that attaches to your keys, your bag, or pretty much anything else that you have a habit of misplacing. And when you inevitably can't find that thing, you just ping it from your phone and it rings at 110 decibels. That's far louder than most other tags on the market, so even if whatever it is you've lost is buried at the bottom of a bag or left in another room, you're going to hear it. But what I really like about the FineTrack Mini 2 is the fluorescent design, which glows in low light, so if it's late and you don't want to make a noise, you can still spot it. It runs on Apple Find My, so there's no extra app needed, plus it's IP68 rated, so rain and water aren't an issue. And the battery goes on for 5 to 7 years, which is wild. They also do 2 others in this series, the FineTrack 2, which comes in a ball shape, which is fantastic for keyrings, and the FineTrack Duo, which is certified for both Apple and Android if you're switching between ecosystems. There's links to all 3 in the description. Go and check them out. I thought it might be useful to explain how I use the AirPods Pro because I appreciate I'm not a normal user. I've got lots of earbuds to hand at any one time. That's just a very small selection of the earbuds in this studio. However, I always turn to these because I pop them into my ears, and whether I've got an iPad in front of me or an iPhone or a Mac or an Apple TV, whatever it is, they just work. And as a result of that, my use case for them is quite wide. Dog walking, and that is normally listening to podcasts. I use them for taking calls with the team, so whether that be on Slack or Zoom or Google Meet, that sort of stuff. Checking videos for this channel, so once Niall has edited the video, I watch it back. I tend to use these to do that, which means listening to the audio quality and all sorts of things, so it's quite a production type thing, which is quite interesting. And what else? I made a list. Oh yeah, gym visits. I take these to the gym. That they're pretty much the only earbuds, apart from Beats, which are fantastic in the gym, that I use to work out. So running and doing weights, really big weight training, all that sort of stuff. They get used for that. Music, coming back to the music side of things, I was thinking about this morning when I was mapping out this video, and I don't use my AirPods Pro that often for listening to music. And that's not because they're not any good at that. They're very good at that. It's just because, again, I tend to turn to the things that I'm reviewing at the time for that. So normally I've got a pair of earbuds, or more often a pair of headphones that I'm reviewing at that point in time, which means I need to use those to listen to music. So again, not normal use case, but the lovely thing about the AirPods Pro is that, and certainly the 3, I know the 3 have had a few negative reviews about the sound. I've never had that issue. So I think they sound fantastic, and that's the great thing about them. They do work brilliantly for all of those things that I talked about a moment ago, and they sound fantastic, in my humble opinion. I've made a list of the things that I think matter in a 6 month review. The first thing is the fit and comfort. They do make a lot of noises, which I like. They do have character. Yeah, fit and comfort. Does it still hold up after 6 months? And for me, it absolutely does. These are one of, if not the most comfortable earbuds I've ever placed in my ears. I do have ears that are compatible with AirPods Pro. I know some people don't have ears that are compatible with AirPods Pro. I do see that in the comments. So if that's you, try the other ones. Try the regular AirPods, because for me, it's the other way around. I can wear these all day long. I can shake my head, I can do anything, and they don't fall out. But I can't wear the regular AirPods 4 because the left one always falls out. There's something wrong with my left ear and those versions of the AirPods. So I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid, guys. For me, they fit perfectly. The build quality, I think, is a very important point. Now, I've been using, this isn't a sponsor, by the way, but I've been using the ESR, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's an ESR case for the AirPods Pro 3. You pop the AirPods Pro 3 case in there, and it's really rugged. And you get this, is it a carabiner type thing, which you can attach to stuff, which is very useful. So for me, that has been I don't think I've needed it, to be fair, because the case is like any AirPods case. These are my AirPods Pro 2, I think, and I've dropped this so many times. It's a bit scratched, but you can't really see it because it's white, so that's quite nice. There's no dents in it, there's no dings, and the hinge is perfect. I don't think it would be any different with the AirPods Pro 3, but admittedly, I have had it. I've had them in this case for pretty much the last 6 months. The earbuds, however, I've done that thing countless times, so many times. I'm sure we've all done this, where you drop your AirPods Pro case and inevitably it doesn't just drop and then stay closed. It opens and the earbuds go flying off into outer Mongolia and, Scotland the other way. It's just insane how far they go. And I've done that so many times on hard concrete surfaces and all sorts of stuff. And the earbuds are immaculate. I don't think I've ever had a problem with build quality and AirPods, so you've got no worries there whatsoever. The battery life has been fantastic. They do run out quicker than some of the other earbuds that I've been testing, but that's because I use them more. It's got nothing to do with the fact that the battery's less. I just use the AirPods Pro a lot, which means the battery runs down more than, let's say, for instance, the Beats that I occasionally use. I've had no problem with the battery. They charge wirelessly, which is a huge benefit for earbuds. So design, build quality, battery life, fit and comfort, top notch. The features that I've loved the most about the AirPods Pro 3, the first one is, and I think most people would agree with this who have got these, it's the noise cancelling. If I just turn it on now, hopefully I'm not shouting. I think I said this in a recent video that featured these, when I compared these against the AirPods Max 2. The noise cancelling, every time I turn it on, blows my mind. I don't know how Apple does this with earbuds, but it is over-ear headphone level ANC. It's that good. It's incredible. So for me, over the last 6 months, the noise cancelling on these, it's been the most enjoyable and the most continually surprising and satisfying feature. And that is so rare on any type of tech. If you buy a phone that has one amazing thing about it, one incredible feature, you do get used to it after a while. With the AirPods Pro 3 and their noise cancelling, I still haven't got used to how good it is. It still amazes me. The same goes for what I'm using now, which is the transparency mode. So the transparency mode is when you can hear the outside world, you can hear your voice, and I don't know how Apple does this. They must have employed every transparency expert in the universe. That's the only way I can think that they've done this, because no other earbuds, all of these earbuds in here and the rest in that drawer over there, none of them come close. None of them come there. Can't even get I can never get my words out, can I? None of them come close. Oh, we'll keep some of this in because it's real, isn't it? None of them come close to the AirPods Pro when it comes to transparency mode. You can just hear yourself beautifully. It's as though you don't have anything in your ears. It's amazing. I haven't used the hearing aid stuff because, touch wood, at the moment, at the age of 45, my hearing is still okay, so I can't comment on that. The heart rate sensor I've not used either because I have an Apple Watch and I don't need to, but it's nice to know it's there because if I forget to charge this and I need to go for a run, I know that I can use my earbuds to track my heart rate and all that stuff. The translation feature, I've had no need to use that whatsoever because I just haven't found myself in that situation where I need to use the translate side of things. But again, it's nice to know it's there. So the AirPods Pro 3 have all this stuff built into them, which it's just nice to know you can use it. It makes them very fully featured and, again, the best earbuds on the market. And the same goes for all of the Apple switching stuff, switching between all of those devices that I've got, the iPhones, multiple iPhones, the Macs that I've got. I've got so many Apple devices. To have a pair of earbuds that seamlessly switches. Now, when the original AirPods Pro came out, in fact, the original AirPods as well, when Apple introduced the switching stuff with with your iCloud account, it was a little bit flaky, I found. It didn't always pick the right device, whereas now it's 99% perfect. The other thing that I quite like is the shaky head and noddy head thing, which is if you get if you're running, for instance, and someone texts you, you can either shake your head to not hear the text message, or you can nod your head to hear it. And you do look a bit weird going, or but it works and it's useful. I do need to add some balance here, which is an ironic thing to say given what I'm about to say, but I do need to give you at least one thing that I don't like about the AirPods Pro. It's not even a thing that I don't like about them. It's just one problem that I've had with them, which has been a bit annoying, although it's got better over time. And that is I've had this weird kind of imbalance, left-right imbalance, where the audio shifts. I think it shifts to the left a little bit. And I think it's to do with either the active noise cancelling or the adaptive audio. I've tried turning things off and on, and it's hard to work out what's having the effect because it doesn't always happen. So for instance, now if I start playing music, it will probably be centered and absolutely fine, but I could then go and walk down the road and feel it shift slightly. It's not the head tracked spatial audio thing, that's turned off. It's something else, and it has improved over time, and it's one of those things that's happened less. I've noticed it less. It's either a hardware thing or it's just, like I say, it's one of those adaptive audio things just being a little bit finicky at times. It hasn't spoilt my enjoyment of the AirPods Pro 3 though, at all. The other thing that I mentioned a little while ago was this chirping noise, which only does that when you do this. I've not had it happen in my ears at all, and how many people do that? Okay, what does Apple do next with the AirPods Pro to make them even betterer? Well, I think it's quite a tall order because they are the best ANC earbuds on the market in my humble opinion. However, if we look at the rumours, and because they're rumours we have to take everything I'm about to say with a pinch of salt, it's quite interesting. Firstly, if the next AirPods Pro come in, let's say September, alongside the rumoured new iPhones, they may not even be called the AirPods Pro. You can guess where this is going. They're probably going to be called the AirPods Ultra, which is, I hate saying the word Ultra. It always sounds weird, but it's an obsession in tech. You know, the apparent iPhone Ultra, the S26 Ultra, even Xiaomi make a car with Ultra in the title. But yeah, AirPods Ultra is apparently going to be what these will turn into, which might mean that the AirPods Pro 3 stay on the market and get cheaper. And bearing in mind, I think they're a bit of a bargain already, that could be good news. The other rumours are an infrared camera for gesture control. So the next AirPods Pro / AirPods Ultra may have a camera or cameras inside them for doing things with your hands and for visual intelligence. Although these rumours are saying that they're not for taking photos, because that would be weird, wouldn't it? I don't know how that plays into visual intelligence, but that's really interesting. A new H3 chip. Now, it doesn't really, none of these rumors explain what that H3 chip will have, but it's going to have new smarts, new things that you can do with the AirPods, which presumably will put them ahead of the AirPods Max 2 again. So we had that thing for ages where the AirPods Pro 2 had more smart features because of the H2 chip than the AirPods Max, which are much more expensive. So we might get back into that realm, which would be interesting. Potential lossless audio via Apple's SPR AVS protocol. It'll be interesting to see how they do that, but that's very interesting. That's pretty much it in terms of rumors. There's some very weird ones after that, but those are the ones that I think are possibly true. And that gets me excited because if they get better, how can they get better? And this brings me to my inevitable conclusion about the AirPods Pro 3. I think I've said several times in this video that these are the best ANC earbuds on the market, and that's the conclusion, really. They are just utterly unbeatable. However, I do appreciate that that's mainly for Apple people. That said, I think if you have an Android phone, you're probably not thinking about the AirPods Pro, are you? I do see a few people in the comments say that they've bought them to use alongside their Samsung or their Oppo phone or whatever, but I think it's quite rare. So that aside, they are the best earbuds on the market. I just don't think anything can beat them in terms of the combination of audio quality, noise cancelling by a fair distance, transparency mode, same again, build quality, just the ease of switching between devices. There's nothing like these. And they're not very expensive. I think 219 quid in the UK. And what are they? $249 in the US. They are very well priced. It's over to you now, guys. I want to know, have you got the AirPods Pro 3? Have you been enjoying them? Have you not been enjoying them? Get involved in the comments. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, you know what to do.